Hello and welcome to the Listening Post's unboxing channel on YouTube. Today I'm unboxing a stunning headphone preamp from Ferrum. This O.O.R or however you want to do it has some of the lowest noise floor and best performance of any headphone preamp manufactured today. It's utterly stunning. It's designed with ultra low total harmonic distortion, and let's be honest, when you're listening with a headphone, that's absolutely critical. It's fully balanced in its design. We're talking about every single circuit topography completely separate, and with a balanced output enables it to configure brilliantly with those higher end headphones. For those starting out, or maybe with a second pair of comfort ones or whatever it might be, there's also a 6 1/4, but we'll see all of that. The range itself is obviously complemented by the HYPSOS power supply. It's an ultra low noise floor power supply, and obviously clearly the operating power required from any of these connected products is going to come from somewhere, and if you can clean that up using some of these other products, you'll see why it does such a good job. Nevertheless, we'll touch on that later. The O.O.R. Its packaging is identical to everything in the Ferrum range. It has the logo, scannable information, and basic information about the model number. It's not taped closed, and it's not a very big box, so it's kind of like opening one of those archive folders associated with some paperwork at work. But when you open it, you get a hint as far as the full colour card quick start guide. This has some basic inputs and outputs associated with how you're going to set this up and configure it, get the most out of it of course, and tight closed cell foam padding to ensure that this product arrives to you in utterly perfect condition. The product is powered from an external power supply, and this is a, let's have a look, 24 volt 2.5 amp power pack. It's got an IEC socket, and there's an IEC power cord in there as well. Having a look at the product, you can see that the closed cell foam is brilliantly cut perfectly for the product itself, and again to ensure it arrives to you in perfect condition. Lifting it out is pretty straightforward, and you get an understanding of the weight and build quality of this product immediately. It is utterly lovely. It's a beautiful product in every respect, and even just the screws and bolts and nuts holding it together are brilliantly machined into place. Okay. Now looking at the product, and again as always please hang around for the close-up photographs. The first thing we see is the ability for the logo, the Ferrum logo, to be illuminated. And by the way, if I spin this around just briefly, there's a brightness thing at the back, so you can turn it all the way down or all the way up depending on your mood. Nevertheless, concentrating on the front, there's the logo, and we've got the 4-pin balanced output to drive higher end headphones with separate and independent cabling to each cup. We see a traditional 6 1/4 stereo plug, socket I should say of course, and then beside it an ability to switch between the RCA, standby mode or XLR inputs. The second, and I guess I'm going to touch on this, the amplifier is designed to be capable of driving any headphone load. I'm going to underline that, any headphone load. But of course with configuration and other things associated with the volume you're wanting, you have the ability to bring down the gain, leave it in neutral, or boost it up a little bit depending on the impedance and efficiency of the headphone itself. Those two things of course will vastly influence how loud the headphone appears, and the ability to configure it is vitally important if you're going to take your headphones seriously. Last of all, we've got a wonderful volume pop, and of course this has, like everything associated with this product, a brilliant fit and finish. The feet are rubberized and designed to isolate the product and leave it nice and firm on any surface, so they're sort of grippy, and it's good to see. It's not very deep, as again, because it doesn't need to be, but it is the same fit and finish as far as size as some of the accessories like the HYPSOS power supply. All of the screws are recessed, and again This is highlighting the quality and build of the product itself. Looking at the back, we see its flexibility. There's the DC input from its power supply, but above it is the 4-pin power supply from the HYPSOS as an optional upgrade. We see the ability, again, as I implied that, to change the brightness of the logo, and then we see the inputs and outputs associated with its operation. Concentrating on this side, which of course is the inputs, we've got the fully balanced inputs and then single-ended, again switchable from the front. Then we see the ability for this to loop out again, should you require it, into another product. Many high-end preamps don't necessarily have a headphone preamp, or if they do, it's relatively poor quality. So this allows you to daisy chain it through that into a power amplifier or something like that associated with it. And they do the same for the single-ended outputs. There's enough ventilation to have the circuit board cooled as required, and again, it's not very deep. It's brilliant as far as its build quality, but it's perfect as far as its form factor too. So there we have it, this stunning headphone preamp, made in Poland, brilliant build quality, absolutely astonishing performance from a quality perspective. I'm very proud to have unboxed and shared it with you today at the Listening Post in Christchurch, New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, subscribe to our channel.